Hello students, welcome to the second part of this lecture, that is about diffusion process. Till now we have seen the difference between diffusion process and adoption process, and also we have seen the first two elements of your diffusion process, that is innovation, and in that we have seen about the characteristics that is required for some organizations to influence customers to buy a new product. And now we are getting to the next level that we want to see about the three things that is left out. Actually, I told it wrong. So we have three things that is left out. One is called as channels of communication. Since right from your as I talk in the class, I have told you about the change in the media, change in the communication system, right from your 3rd BC or 2nd BC. Initially they were using the rock sculptures and other aspects like that, papyrus, to promote their product, to communicate about the product. And later on, due to the advent of technology, now we are promoting our product online, that too through social medias. And there's a different surge in different medias. You can see that social medias, you have a lot of social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and also if you take blogs, there are a lot of blogs that is available open to people. And also newspapers, take newspapers, you have how many number of newspapers that can fill up your homes. And also if you see, there are many magazines that has been used by publishers in order to talk about the product. And also you can see that there are people who are communicating towards you directly, and then they are giving you some communication about the product. They are communicating, or else they are talking about the product directly to you, and then they talk about the benefits, and they will influence you to buy the product. And I can categorize this channel of communication to two. One is called as your impersonal sources, that is your advertisement and editorial matter. And next is called as intrapersonal sources. Intrapersonal sources are something very interactive in nature, and that is through sales people and informal opinion leaders. So one part is about there's a different media search and TVs, your internet, and also there is a search in your print media and other things. And another part is about how you are getting information. One is through impersonal sources and interpersonal sources. So this communication play a major role. Why? Because when people are being getting introduced about new product, they should get enough information so that they feel confident in purchasing the product. And now people are into different medias. So as a marketer, you need to focus on different medias in order to make people to get to know about the product, and they should get to know about whether it is useful to them, and you should position the product in the right way so that they'll buy the product for sure. Next is called a social system. And you cannot sell the product directly to the target customers, and then you need to follow some channels. And also it is better if you convince a person in the social system, and if you are able to convince them, you will be able to easily sell the product to the target customers. For example, the pharmacist, people who are selling drugs, they will focus more on the doctors and pharmacists rather than the patients, because patients require medicines, but they do not know what medicines will require. So this doctor and pharmacist are the social system, and if they recommend a drug to the customer, certainly they will buy the product. And if you want to persuade any people in technology, pull up a person from technological aspects. Okay, if you are able to convince a technical person, and probably you are going to win a big chunk of customers, and then you can generate more profit. And you can take a different scenario like that. And if you want to convince to buy some seeds, okay, and then you need not to convince all the customers who are there near to the stores, or else people who are living in the urban area. Instead, you can convince the farmers so that they can get to know about the product, and then they will grow the product, and they will certainly promote about the product better than you. So when you are introducing a new product, focus on which social system you are giving the product, and also in that particular system there are few people who act as opinion leaders, and executives are people who will communicate about the product, and they will talk about the benefits of the product. They will give information about the product. They reduce the perceived risk. So they will help you to sell the product, and that is one part. That is your social system. Next is your time, and the time that is in between a product is being introduced to the market and the product is being in the hands of the market. That is actually called as the amount of purchase time. And think that I am introducing a new pen today into the market, and if it is taking around 10 days for a customer to buy the product, and that is what we call as the purchase time that is being taken by the customer to buy the product. So it is not that when an advertisement or when a new product is being introduced in the market, you normally do not get immediately, but you get it later. So but you spend a time in between these two things. That is actually called as your amount of purchase time. Next is called as adapter categories. Maybe this is very interesting to you, and let's see that one. One is called as innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. And I want to explain these things with a diagram. So this is called as your adopter categories, and some books or else in some articles they will commonly call this as adoption process, but this comes under adopter categories in your book. And in case of adopter categories, there are 5 type of people who will buy a product, and you can see that innovators here. Innovators, there are around 2.5% of innovators. Those people are people, they will buy the product immediately when the product has been released. It is like watching the movie on the release date itself. Next people are called as let's see here, they are actually called as opinion leaders. They constitute around 13.5% people because they communicate to the mass market about the new products that has been released. It is like I see the movie and then I come out and then I talk about the movie to 10 people, and then I say whether it is good or bad. I will recommend the product. Next is called as early majority. Early majority are people who are half of the mass market, and this is like when opinion leaders and innovators convey about the information about the new product, and now people will crowd up in the theaters, and if the product if you feel the movie is really good, and then they will go there and then certainly watch that movie. And you can say that for a week time, and then these people will be there. Majority, early majority. And late majority is a bit late than your early majority people, but they also constitute the mass market, and they are a little bit late. Okay, they will watch the movie after a week time, but early majority are people, they will watch within the week time. Okay, so it is like, if that depends upon the product life time. Okay, and if it is like a movie which is going to get flopped, and the curve will be very less, and the adoption will be only in between innovators and opinion leaders. They will say that opinion leaders will say that movie is not really good and it will not reach the mass market. But if you are able to convince these opinion leaders and innovators, and they will convey about the positive things, and that will go to the mass market, and you will get a good change over there, and that will certainly reach the mass market, and then you can convince them. And next is called as laggards. Laggards are people who normally are late. They will watch the movie after 1 month or 2 months, or else they will wait till that movie is been broadcasted in Sun TV or KTV. Then only they will watch that particular movie. That is, they are called as laggards. So very naively, I have told you about these 5 categories, and if you can see that statistically, it has been normally distributed. And there are few other categories, not few other, there is one more category that is called as non-adapters. They do not even see the movie in Sun TV or KTV. They just leave it off. They do not require the product. For example, if you say in the product wise example, and when Samsung is going to release, I'm expecting that product will be get released soon. Okay, the Yon, the display, bendable display. If people are going to buy in the first moment, they are called as innovators. they book it immediately. Opinion leaders, they use it, they'll have a hands-on experience, and they will convey, they will critique, they will convey to the mass market, they will write blogs, they will write in newspapers about the product, and they will convey the information to the mass market. And later on, people will buy the product immediately, and they are called as early majority, and after that it will go to the late majority. Laggards are people, okay, and this innovation is going to get obsolete. When this bendable display is going to get obsolete, they will buy this product. And there are a few reasons for it, because they do not have money, or else they do not really like that innovation, or else they want to they waited for some time to buy that product, okay, and they were not convinced about the product, so that is why they haven't bought. And this is called as your laggards, okay. And if you see a curve is being given above that line and above that frequency distribution, and that is called as rate of adoption. How this initial diffusion takes place, and then how that product reached, okay, and how many percentage of people know about the product. So at the end of the laggards phase, entire people in this population, they will certainly know about the product. So this is called as adoption process. And before that you have the rate of adoption. Rate of adoption differs from people to people, that also depends from culture to culture, and that depends on the social system, the amount of money that the people have, and that is how, see, if an innovative product need to be reached into the mass market at a faster rate, they will use penetration policy. What they will do is that they will reduce the price of the product, and then they will certainly get into the market. And if they want to reduce, as a marketer or as a manufacturer, if I want to reduce the rate of adoption, or else if I want to reduce the rate of diffusion, what I will do is that I will go in for skimming policy. I will fix up the rate higher, so people will buy my product at a late time. Okay, so that is how I can induce or else reduce this adoption process. So I will talk about adoption process, especially in the next lecture. So we'll stop about diffusion process here, and if you are going to write about diffusion process, it is very much important that you draw this diagram. So thanks a lot, students. So let's see in the next lecture. Bye bye.